Okay, so this is a very, very short, it's not even a lesson. These are just the 5 steps you're gonna need to solve an equation before we can do next week's lesson. So our lesson next week will go shorter if you already have these notes. There is a slide for you to type on, but for this case, you should really write these down on paper so you don't have to keep going back and forth between Pear Decks to get these notes. You want to be able to see these steps. You can put them on flashcards. Just have them somewhere where you can actually see them for when we're doing next week's lesson so that it's easy for you to access. So there are 5 steps. I'm going to give you the 5 steps on this slide. Then I want you to try to do an example on your own and then watch the video to see if you did it correctly or just to show you how to do it if you really aren't sure how to solve that equation. So here are the notes. So solving an equation, there'll never be more steps than this. These are the 5 steps you will need forever. So you want to put solving an equation. So if you're doing flashcards, put this at the top of every flashcard. And then step 1. Step 1 is to distribute if needed. You won't always need this step, but if you have parentheses, you're going to have to distribute, which we learned how to do last week. That's why we had those 2 lessons. Step 2, we also practiced. You're going to combine like terms. On each side if needed. Again, you won't always have like terms, but if you do, that is your second step. For me, I don't write out combine like terms. I write out CLT. So if you ever see that, that's what I'm talking about. Step 3, in 8th grade, we're going to have variables on both sides of the equal sign. We need to get all of our variables on the same side. So it's going to say get variables on one side. And we do the opposite, which is going to be adding or subtracting. Don't worry if these don't make sense yet. They will when I walk through the example. Just get them down. So get all your variables on the same side, and you do that by doing the inverse operation, which will only be addition or subtraction. You will not be multiplying or dividing yet. That's step 3. Step 4, I hope I have space. So now that all of your variables are on one side, you want to get your constants on the other side. So get constants on the other side. They can't be on the same side as the variable. And again, you're doing the inverse, which will still be addition or subtraction. No multiplying or dividing yet. Our last step is to isolate the variable. That means get the variable by itself. Usually by dividing, or if it's a fraction, multiplying by the reciprocal. So get these 5 steps down, preferably on paper or on flashcards, but if you don't have anything, type it into this Pear Deck so that you are ready for the lesson next week. On the next slide, see if you can solve the equation on your own and then watch the video to check, or if you have no idea how to do it, just watch the video and then copy it down. And then there is a short exit ticket for the week.